Hi, brother teacher here. Unfortunately, I want to um, make many of you aware that may not be aware, especially if you're not from the Ohio area. And those of you that are from the Ohio area, many of you may already know and be aware of the fact that another unarmed black man was shot down and killed by a police officer in Columbus, Ohio. Andre Hill was his name. 47 years old. Never to see the age of 50. Let me say this to you. When did any man, when did any individual belonging to any group, company, business, organization ever have a right to take another human being's life unwarranted? Think about that. And what gives a police organization the right when they know that they've done something wrong or one of theirs has done something wrong and it is obvious that something wrong was done, something criminal, something sinful was done to another human being that took the individual's life, and they go and investigate the individual to see if they have a record, any past indiscretions, any criminal background, a dirty folder, or some information that could paint an ugly picture of the individual. That's the subject of so-called investigation. How does that outweigh the fact that a police officer shot and killed an unarmed man who was doing nothing wrong? It is said that the police officer's body camera, and it's evidential now, it's a matter of fact now that it was not on. His body cam was not on. The audio was not on. It's not turned on until after he shot and killed the man. Why was it off in the first place? The man was standing, Andre Hill was standing on his own property, coming out of his own garage with a lit cell phone, and he was shot dead in his garage. They did not perform CPR, made no attempt to render help or aid to this man who lie on the ground. Instead, you hear the police officer shouting commands at a man who he just shot down to show his hands and to turn over. Don't you know what a gunshot wound does? Are people cognizant necessarily? Are they alert and oriented necessarily when you shoot them so that they can adhere to your commands? Anyway, the mayor of Columbus made the statement that this police officer should be fired. Mayor Andrew Ginther made this statement, mayor of Columbus. So he apparently knows that the officer was out of line. Even if there was audio, it wouldn't matter. People have eyes. And in that short video, we can ascertain what's going on. It doesn't have to be clearly laid out all of the time, detail upon detail upon detail. Sometimes there's one big picture. We can see officers approaching the man's open garage door. And we can see Andrew Hill walking towards the end of his vehicle, towards the driveway, with the cell phone in his hand. A couple seconds later, he's lying on the ground because he was just murdered by a police officer. We didn't see him resist. We didn't see him attack. So how does this lead to this man losing his life? So sad. I don't have enough adjectives in my vocabulary to express how sad the situation is. Now, I saw one individual respond in the comment section and say, please stop using the term race as it relates to another black man being killed by a white cop. Stop using race. But he did agree with the fact that this was inappropriate. It was heinous, if you will, and uncalled for that the man was shot and killed. It should have never happened. He did agree with that, but he said don't use race. I guess that's a matter of opinion with some, but it strikes me rather odd how 99% of the time that black men are killed by police, 99% of the time that black men are killed who are unarmed by police, or even choked to death, or even beaten by police, unwarranted, they're white cops that do it. They're white cops that are responsible for it. And on top of that, 99% of the time, they're never prosecuted. 99% of the time, they get no jail time. 99% of the time, they're still going to receive a paycheck. But they're being investigated. Now, there's nothing that you can tell me. There's nothing that you can tell anyone with eyes that could validate this senseless killing of another black man. There's nothing. That was enough video for us to know that it's just simply another ordinary day for a cop. Now, I'll say this to the credit of the police departments. There are men and women in uniform on the various police departments throughout this country that are honorable and who have good intentions. But my friends, listen to me very carefully. The industry, the policing industry, the policing business is corrupt. What I just said, I didn't contradict myself, by the way. What I just said was the police, organizations, and industry as a whole, it's corrupt. Because you don't have this many black people being shot and killed by police officers and it just simply be a coincidence. It's just simply isolated events, because it has happened too many times for so long. You don't have to like what I say. I don't care if you like what I say or not, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. And what I think is equally sinister is the fact that you have police officers who know that their partners, that their fellow officers, have committed crimes against humanity by taking another human being's life, and they say absolutely nothing. Nothing. They always try to protect one another. And in this instance and many other instances, is when they are wrong. They protect the cops that are wrong. Fear of what? Retribution. Fear of being scorned, ostracized, demoted, forced into retirement if they have the time in. You cowards. You're not human beings. You're something else. But my hat goes off to all of those police officers that will and have stepped up and have expressed their feelings. I know it's hard to go against the brotherhood, but when the brotherhood has individuals that are corrupt, you just ought to. It says a lot about you good police officers, and it says very little that's good about you bad police officers that continue to take innocent lives. Well, let me know what you think about this subject of Andre Hill being gunned down at his home, in his garage, unprovoked. That's it and that's all. Brother Teacher out.